just coming in, U.S. President Donald Trump has claimed that the missing crew member of the downed F-15E has been rescued. Now, this is the latest comment coming in from the U.S. President on this one missing airman that was reported, of course, after the jet was shot down on Friday. Now, just to get more details on this, I'm cutting across to my colleague Shivan Chanana, who's joining us right now. Shivan, now we know that the U.S. President has now commented on it. Could you just go through what exactly has he said for us?
Yeah, Jyotsna, it's since over an hour now we were hearing of these reports that were coming in that a rescue operation is on. They have recovered the second crew member, but the exfiltration process was yet to happen. And now we're hearing it from Trump in this effusive post that he's put out. It's quite a lengthy one, but let me quickly go over the post first before we try to break it down a little further for our viewers. The post, it starts by Donald Trump saying, "We got him." It's bold, it's caps. Let me go further. I'll read it out now. My fellow Americans, over the past several hours, the United States military pulled off one of the most daring search and rescue operations in U.S. history. For one of our incredible crew member officers, who also happens to be a highly respected colonel, so he's given out the rank of the officer who has been taken in, who has been now recovered and exfiltrated. That's what the U.S. is suggesting. He's a colonel, and the gender of the officer is also now known with this post. They're safe and they're sound. This brave warrior was behind enemy lines in the treacherous mountains of Iran, being hunted down by the Iranians, who were getting closer and closer by the hour, but was never truly alone because his commander-in-chief, secretary of war, chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, and fellow warfighters were monitoring his location 24 hours a day and diligently planning for his rescue. Now, at my direction, this is what Trump says, the U.S. military sent dozens of aircraft armed with the most lethal weapons in the world to retrieve him. He sustained injuries, but he will be just fine. This miraculous search and rescue operation comes in addition to a successful rescue of another brave pilot that was done yesterday, which we did not confirm because we did not want to jeopardize our second rescue operation. This is the first time in military memory that two U.S. pilots have been rescued separately, deep in enemy territory. We will never leave an American warfighter behind. The fact that we were able to pull this off in these operations without a single American killed or even wounded just proves once again that we have achieved overwhelming air dominance and superiority over the Iranian skies. This is a moment for all Americans, Republican, Democrat, and everyone else should be proud of and united around. We truly have the best, most professional and lethal military in the history of the world. God bless America. God bless our troops. Happy Easter. So that's a big statement that has now come in from the U.S. president. Let me quickly go over a few nuances here. He does mention that the officer that was rescued, he did sustain some wounds and was injured in some aspects, and then later in the same post says nobody was killed and nobody was wounded. So there's a dichotomy there within the same statement, and this has not been an easy evacuation for the Americans. Let this be known, because even earlier the F-15 went down on Friday. Today is Sunday, and this has been going on for a while. The White House has been silent on this since the day that the jet went down. This statement makes it clear that they were deep inside enemy territory. That means the F-15 went down within Iran, in Iranian airspace. The first pilot was recovered by the U.S. within the initial hours, and then the search for the second one was on. They remained silent. Donald Trump explains here why they remained silent on it. They did not want to jeopardize their search and rescue mission. The colonel who has been recovered was their weapons service officer. He has been pulled out. Now, the earlier reports, Jyotsna, that you had also broken for us from the newsroom, they did clarify that the recovery has happened, but the exfiltration has not happened. That means a major firefight went on in this rescue operation. The second part of it, this is what Donald Trump said, that we sent in a lot of our jets armed with the most prominent weapons that they have. And that tells you what kind of exfiltration process this was. America really had to deploy major amounts of its military arsenal to recover the fallen pilot, the fallen officer, the crewman from the jet, from the F-15. So that's what we gather. This is the first statement that has now come in from the U.S. administration talking to us about how this exfiltration process came out. Now we know that they were able to pull out both the officers with wounds, is what the U.S. president says. Back to you, Jyotsna.
Absolutely, Shivan. Thank you so much for bringing all the latest. Of course, this is the confirmation we've got, and this is, of course, a very daring mission, as you mentioned, considering the fact that it was not just U.S., but also Iran who was hunting down for these officers. So thank you so much, Shivan, for joining us on the broadcast and giving all the details. Appreciate it.